Alrighty, hello everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Pat Moriarty Surf. In today's episode, I will be comparing Bethany Hamilton, the one-armed female surfer, versus some of my surfing clips. I hope to provide you guys with informational, educational, and entertaining surf content. So if you like this video, you'd love the other videos I have in the series called Pat vs. Pros. And I'd really appreciate it if you guys can like and subscribe before we get into it. Awesome. So now that we got that squared away, I will be showing you guys my surf ability versus Beth Hamilton's surfing ability. Watching these clips, I was able to take away a lot from what she's able to do on a board still without one of her arms. So for a little backstory, it was about 10 years ago, she got attacked by a shark in Hawaii, and the shark essentially bit off her left arm. And she still is able to get back in the water and continue surfing even without a left arm. So today I'm going to show you guys how she does it. I'm going to compare it to my surfing. And really the takeaway from today's lesson is going to be how important the lower body is. Essentially, she's got half of her upper body to work with, and she's still able to generate a lot of speed, a lot of power, and very efficient turns. So we're going to take a look at that today. Let's get into it. Alrighty, as you can see, able to perform really well there, generate a bunch of speed and turns. This first freeze frame we'll have here is her bottom turn ability. So she sets this wave up so well, dropping in a nice wide angle. So she really comes down the face of the wave, goes north to south on the wave instead of, say, east to west. That allows her to generate a ton of speed coming down, cue up that bottom turn, and you can see her eyeing up the spot of the wave where she wants to really hit that top turn. So this is really impressive. She gets all the way down. If she had that left arm, she'd be using that left arm to sort of drag it on the water right there. But she's able to maintain balance with her angular momentum, just going down the wave really fast and using the angular momentum to sort of keep her stable and keep her in that loop. And then next thing to notice here is the lower body movement on the turns. So pay attention to her lower body. See the contraction and extension of her back leg here. That's something really important to pay attention to. You'll see in a little bit my turns, I stay compressed the entire time. She's able to extend, compress, and then extend that back leg like that. You can't quite see it in that frame, but her back leg is really fully extended. So she goes through these stages of compressing that back leg and then extending it right there for the turn. And you can see, look at that water spray she's able to generate out of the water. So extending that back leg really allows her to rebound and gain momentum going down the wave. That's something that's super important. And as you can see coming up in this clip, it's something that I really need to work on. So insanely impressive surfing for any surfer, and she's able to do it with one arm. So super cool clips from Bethany Hamilton there. But without further ado, let's get to some of the clips from myself taken about a month ago here in Nicaragua. So we'll play it through and then I'll go and analyze it. First thing we'll notice here, compared to Bethany, where am I on the wave here? I essentially inch towards the middle part of the wave. She was able to create a lot of speed off the takeoff by going north to south and doing this sort of whopping bottom turn. The north to south movement allows you to convert the potential energy at the top of the wave into kinetic energy at the bottom of the wave, and then convert that energy into angular momentum at the bottom of the wave, and that's how you generate speed. So engaging that rail, when you engage the rail, it essentially pushes water through the back of your fins and acts as a little motor for your surfboard. So here I'm sort of treading in the midline of the wave. This is not a good way to gain speed. This is sort of if you're just looking to chill on the wave and sort of carry it out to the end. But I'm in the stage of my surfing where I'm really trying to generate as much speed as possible, and you do that by forming really sharp, precise turns. Additionally, remember how Bethany Hamilton was eyeing up the spot in the wave where she wanted to turn. If you look, my eyeballs are essentially just down the middle of the wave. I'm not looking at the lip of the wave where I want to hit. It's sort of just this smooth motion of, okay, try and make the wave. And then once I try and make the wave, I try and negotiate it from there. Next thing to notice, that back leg. I told you that's something we were paying attention to with Bethany Hamilton. She's able to generate all this angular momentum, all this turning ability without half of her upper body, which means what? She's using her lower body. And as you can see, my lower body essentially remains in the same stance the entire time. It's always in that compressed stance, which means I'm not using the wave to my advantage. What you want to be doing is essentially using that back leg as a lever, and when the opportunity arises at the top of the wave, you want to extend it, rebound, and then compress it again as you're going down. Remain in that compression as you're going down the wave, and that allows you to gain speed going down the wave, cue up the bottom turn, and then once you angle up to the top turn again, you extend that back leg and rebound down again. So as you can see, I just maintain that compressed angle, and that doesn't allow me to gain speed throughout the wave. Now, next thing that's super impressive that she does, so we're going to analyze Bethany Hamilton's pop-up. So remember, one arm, one right arm, and let's see how she pops up. We got it in slow-mo here so you guys can see. So before we get into mine, we'll go back and show you guys Bethany Hamilton's pop-up. One thing I really want to highlight here is check out which foot lands first. So in my pop-up, I have this habit of planting my front foot forward first, and that's really the foot I use to try and just make the wave. But what that does is it doesn't set me up for proper maneuvering and proper positioning on the board. She's able to pop up with just one arm here, and look which foot lands first. If this whitewater wasn't here, you would see that her back leg is already on the back trail pad. That's the first part of her pop-up, is getting that back leg back. This is super, super important, and it's something that I've really just started to appreciate as I'm sort of trying to progress from beginner to intermediate and along in my surf progression, is getting that back leg in the right spot cues up everything for the wave. So after she has that back leg set, then she drops the front leg and is able to take the wave. Now, this is another wave I got 3 or 4 weeks ago. And as you can see, a bit off balance, not riding it in the pocket. And let's see why. On my pop-up here, everything has to do with the front foot here. I'm totally focused on the front foot hitting the sweet spot, and I completely neglect that back foot. And so as we can see in this frame, the back foot is about 1.5 feet too far forward. And what that does is essentially I'm unable to develop the wave the way I want. The back foot acts as your anchor point for being able to generate turns, both bottom turns and top turns. And when I ride up like that, the only sort of good form the only thing I can do with the surfboard in that position is go straight and go fast. Anything else, I'm really not in a good position. And so really the moral of the story with the pop-up is the pop-up sets up the rest of your wave. So that's something that I'm going to work on. And that really concludes this episode of Pat Moriarty's Surf. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, got something from it, thought it was relatable, please like it and and subscribe to the channel. We've had some great subscriber growth I've only been doing this for about 2.5 weeks now, and already over 100 subscribers. So really appreciate the support, guys. Remember to like it, comment, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time.